Hi everyone. Oh, hello. I do hope you're okay, and I do hope that all is well with you. I didn't mean to have any time off at all, actually. Just that I heard this word going around the internet and going around YouTube and everywhere really, and it was the word reset. So I thought, oh yeah, I can reset. Let's reset. You know, they talk about reset the home, reset the studio, reset your life, you know, reset everything. And I thought, well, I could have a good go at the studio. Well, I was, crazy. I was chucking stuff out of drawers and yanking stuff out of cupboards and doing all the, you know, the things that they were talking about, you know, buying new storage pieces so I could fill them all back up again. It's taken me 3 weeks. I know, 3 weeks. It was crazy. And I haven't even started on the rest of the house yet. But I thought, well, you know, let's give the studio a good reset, you know, as they say, new year, new reset. But also it's year 9, and that's part of, you know, checking out the old and bringing in the new. So I did just that really. It just took a lot longer. And I did start to film it, and I thought maybe, you know, you'll want to see what's going on. I don't know how they do it, you know, when they look so aesthetically pleasing while they're dragging it. Everything was just on the floor. It was just a big pile. I just had a brush and just swept it all out. I had to go through everything. I went all the drawers, everything, and so it didn't look, you know, aesthetically pleasing at all. And I thought, well, where'd you put the camera when there's all this mess? So that's what I decided to do, was just, you know, just get it done. And yeah, and I've got to say, although it felt quite traumatic at the time, clearing all these things out, and I even, you know, I was oiling old equipment and really giving it a good old clean and a reset. Actually, now it's done. Now the studio's done. The rest of the house isn't done, mine. I've got to do that yet. But, you know, now that the studio's reset, I've got to say, it's really nice. I've got room for more tools. Oh yeah, so it's an excuse to buy a new tool. I've got room for new furniture as well. So I brought in one of my display cabinets from the room. So I thought, well, that's nice. You know, I've actually given myself a little bit more room now. So yes, lots of nice things happening. And as I said, lots of excuse for new tools. So yeah, I've been on a bit of a spending spree. So I do hope that you eased your way into this year and not, you know, slid and just went a little bit crazy for the year, for the start of the year. To be honest, I've always eased myself in every year. So this is the first year that I've been very active. Could be because it's a year 9 and I'm also a year 9 as a person, and next year we go back into a year 1, so this is really getting your story and getting your everything in place. Excuse me. So yeah, so it actually worked out really well in the end, because I have a nice shiny new studio. Well, not new, but shiny studio. And everything's it's got a place now, so that's really nice. So today, I digressed, don't I? So all this talk about reset, and I thought, let's reset a piece of jewellery. So I've made a piece of jewellery a long time ago, and I thought, yeah, let's make this. It's never really been worn, it's never really settled well, let's make that. So let's get started on that, shall we? Come on. So here on the bench, we've got some unfinished projects. So a few have been on my bench a little while. I do try and go through them every couple of months just to see if I can salvage something or make something new. So some of these pieces have just been cut off when I've done a ring or a pendant, it's been what's left over. So there's actually nothing wrong with them. So I can match them up and make earrings, or add them to other little projects, maybe to bezel set a cabochon, which I was thinking of doing with this one. So I'm just gonna get an oval cabochon and pop this around there. So these are all sort of odd items from collections that I've made. Sometimes, like this piece I made, and unfortunately the seam didn't go very well. You know, they don't always go perfectly, just like life really, isn't it? But the seam is quite rough. All the wires have joined actually, which is quite unusual, but they've all joined, but it's left quite a rough patch. So I've got to look at whether I'm going to put a stone on there, set it, you know, a little cabochon or something, but it won't actually polish up very well in the condition that it's in. Now, consequently, this one is on my table, and this one's on my table because I'm not really sure what to do with it next, only because it's got the perfect join. It's soldered so well. The design I was going to have for it, I'm now thinking it just probably needs a polish. So just like an artist will leave their paintings on an easel and come back to them, you know, after a few days or a few hours, and sort of reevaluate their art, it's the same with jewellery as well. You can quite often, when you're making your own, just, you know, sit back and reevaluate it. And that's what I'm doing with that one. These two in the corner are actually projects I've started. This is from a brand new collection, which is going to be my Reflections collection and my Sea Glass and Seaweed collection. So they're already have something to do. They're sort of my little prototypes, if you like, but they've come out really well, so they'll be part of the collection anyway. I've got this little, I don't know if anyone knows about wire hemo. So I created a way of braiding with coils, and that's what this one is, and it's an absolute beautiful piece, and I think that will be a collection. So it's another prototype. I'm not sure how to finish the top, whether to give it an elaborate top or not, so I'm just sort of, you know, sitting back again and reevaluating that one. I've got this gorgeous piece here, which I was going to set with a ring around, sorry, I'm hiding it in my hand, with a ring, so it would be an open ring, and that would sit, let me see if I can show you, like that type of thing. Don't know if you can see that, but I am looking to get a few pieces cast so that I can make up collections. They'll be more affordable, and now that I'm working with retailers, I do need a means of producing in more bulk than I am now. You know, at the moment I only go up to like 10 pieces, and the retailers obviously, you know, they need and want a lot more. So that's what I'm looking at, is working a way of having them cast. So this little piece will be something that I'm thinking of having cast, and then working out how I work with it after it's been cast. So that's that one. Now I've got a few gemstones here as well. Now I do this all the time. I don't know if you do, if you're a jeweller out there, or you know jewellers, I'm sure this happens. I bezel set this and for a certain gemstone, and now I can't find what I've done with the gemstone. So I must have tidied up, packed everything away, and packed the gemstone that goes with it. So it's going to take a little hunting down, but we'll do it, we'll get there. But it will take a little time for me to find this little gemstone that goes in this cabochon. So that's why that one's sitting there. So that leaves me with this big one here. Now, I've made and sold quite a few of these, and they're gorgeous bangles. This one never made it to the assay office. It's very heavy. They're around 13.5 grams, which means they are double what they should be for what do we call it, for a straight sail. You know, anything over 7.8, I think. I correct myself on the screen, but it's somewhere around there, that they have to be hallmarked. In this country I'm in Wales, and that's what we have to do here. This one, before I finished it, before it's going to go to the assay office with the others, shifted on me. I don't know. It's a beautiful, beautiful twist on it. I mean, it's came out perfect all the way around until the end. And don't know if you can see that, but it's actually shifted on me. So that didn't make it very nice, I didn't think anyway. So I would like to do something with that. It's quite a heavy and chunky piece. So maybe, you know, I can make something out of that for maybe a gent's bracelet or something. But I'm going to have a look at that today. So this is the piece I've chosen to reset. And let's get down and dirty on the bench. Come on. So this is the exciting bit now, where we get to design or redesign our piece. So I have been playing around, because it does take quite some time, just, you know, get some designs in my head, and just to see what fits. And I started off with this piece that was sort of the end that I cut off, because I wasn't sure if it needed to be scrapped. But no, I managed to put this mandrel through it and get the shape back and sort of realign it a bit. So hopefully during the soldering stage again it will sit okay, but we'll give it a go anyway. But while I was doing that, I thought it would make a nice sea glass pendant, because it's a bit on the wonky side and it's not perfect, and I thought, well, the sea glass would go really nice with that. So I have tried a couple of pieces. I don't know if you can see that, but I had this one, and you know, it's okay. I didn't want to spend hours and get all the pieces out and then you know, go through each piece, so I just grabbed a handful, to be honest. But what I must do, I've realised when I was messing with the sea glass, is that there's no rhyme or reason at the moment. It's like I just grab a handful and just try and see. So I think I'll get some jars and sort of put them into colours or shapes or something. I need to do something, because at the moment they're just all in boxes and it's quite difficult to design that way. So that's one thing I need to note. Note to self, you need some jars. Maybe jars for some of the gemstone strands as well I got. Anyway, I'm going off tangent now as usual. So yeah, so what I did, I just popped a few, no, that was quite nice, that one. So I've popped a few in to see how I felt about it. They're all a little bit bland, but as I say, I'm not very organised with them, so I couldn't put my hand on something straight away. But then when I came across this one, so this one's slightly concaved. I would say it's some 1800s. It's very, you know, it is a thick one. It's a beautiful piece of sea glass, well sea aged, so it's got a nice rounded, no sharp bits, there's no dents, it's very rounded, and it's frosted from the sea, which is really nice. So I thought that would be really suitable for this piece. As I popped it in, or on top of the the shank or the bail as it is at the moment, I thought, or the setting, I thought how well it just sort of fitted so well. It just sat. And when I turned it over, every part of the pendant was touching the sterling silver, just like it was meant to be. So I thought, yes, that needs to go with that. So I thought I'd prong set that in. Now when I prong set it in, I think I'm going to have to use quite thick wire. I did look at 1.25. I looked at the one and it just looked silly. I looked at the 1.25, which I thought I was going to use. Then I thought maybe this is 150. And I think it's just that little bit more substantial to go for the prong setting. I don't think they'd be fancy prongs. They're just gonna come over each side and hug or cutch, as we say in Wales, the gemstone, the sea glass. They are gemstones, aren't they? Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully, all being well, and that it withstands another firing. The actual sterling silver withstands the soldering again, because sometimes, you know, it's a bit fatigued and they don't hold up. But give it a go. I'm going to give that a go. Then these other ones, let's see if you can see a little bit. So the other ones that I cut off, I thought that's going to make a really nice part of a gent's bracelet. Now sometimes I do them in leather, but the ones I've seen most popular are gemstone stretchies, a thicker stretchy for the gents. That seems to go down really well. And I mean, so Ben, Andrew, they wear that type of thing and they really like wearing that. So I think that's what that one's going to be. Oh, excuse me, there was a malfunction somewhere. So I've lost something, haven't I? I'll have a look after. So that's the idea. Whether it all comes out or not, you know, we'll see a bit later. So let's go and solder. Well, that went really well, and it's so enjoyable, but also it feels good when you get that flow in the solder. And to be honest, I carried on for quite some time because yeah, I always feel like the solder gods and the goddesses are with you when it starts going well like that. You've got to keep going for a bit, because it doesn't always go like that, and I find if it starts off poorly, I walk away and come back to it. But it was just a beautiful experience. And I think that any craft really is about experiences, and if there's something that doesn't feel so good, you know, just leave it for a bit and come back to it. But that felt really, really fulfilling, and I managed to even add a bit more to this piece than I thought. I've added a little butterfly, which I'll show you properly in a minute. But I'd like to get this one at least finished today. So let's get setting. So we're just going to tidy this up now, this pendant up, set the sea glass, and see what we've got. So I hope that's a good view for everybody. So I'll just move everything out the way. So this is what I'm going to set, and I think it came out really nice. So first thing is I'm going to take my piece of sea glass and just make sure, let's put this under there so you might be able to see it a bit better. I'm just going to make sure that it still fits. I'm just placing it in there. Can't remember the exact orientation. Oh yeah, I think that's it. was going to say, I can't remember the exact orientation, but it's sort of slotted in then quite nicely. So I think that's it there. So the first thing I need to do is bring this long piece here and fold it over into a bale. So let's get that done. Whilst I reset the workbench, give it a good old tidy up and pop a few chains on the pendants, why not go and have a look and see what that storm's doing? So these are the 3 pieces that I made today. This first one came out so lovely. Then this one, a gent stretchy, really beautiful gemstones on there as well. And that came out perfect. In fact, Andrew's popped his name on that. But I will make others because they are so nice. This is my favourite of all. Is it made perfectly? No. But it has the most amazing energy. I hope that you can pick that up just by looking at it. The energy in this piece is just magical. It started off as just the infinity symbol earrings, but they're quite heavy. So I decided that they become pendants and I added the different sections to them. And to me, it's turned into very much a Celtic love spoon. And in fact, that's what these infinity shapes are about. So I really like that, and I think it's going to wear really well. Will I make it again? Definitely yes. I did put a little gold ingot in the centre. I possibly would put a gemstone in there. But, you know, something that I didn't even design on paper that just sort of evolved. But as I say, the energy about it is quite extraordinary. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that piece. So I hope you'll join me over the next couple of weeks, or months probably, while I fill up this lovely display cabinet with jewellery. My jewellery do tend to sell quite quickly, and so I've not had a cabinet before. So it's really exciting that I've got something now, and maybe I need to make in a little bit more bulk, or a few more pieces anyway than I normally do. So thank you everybody, and I hope that a restart for you is on the books. Talking about on the books, one last thing. I watch a Little Wonderful Life, and A Little Wonderful Life on YouTube introduced me to this year's Almanac, and there's a lot of information in here about stars, about all sorts of things really, and there's even like recipes, once a month of recipes, and I just find it so interesting. I can't remember if there's a poem in this one. Usually there's like a poem or something, or a story in them. So yeah, so please look up Little Wonderful Life, and she'll tell you more about it, as she's done a review on it. The other book I'm reading at the moment is Big Magic. I've read it in about 2018, 2019. I really enjoyed it then, and I thought, well, as I'm going through this reset period, what book would I like to reread? And this is the one I picked up. I think this, and maybe The Secret, which I've read about 10 times. It, you know, is a good one to return to, especially at the beginning of the year, and because it brings so much hope and love and joy, and knowing that, you know, there is a future out there. So whatever you're doing, and whatever you want to create, please just do it. Take one step at a time and create the life you love. Thank you everyone. Bye.